coming my way. You know, just talking and seeing in visual words.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And that'll bring the whole vibration up, and your body will start to follow that.
What is your biggest challenge in terms of like what you do?
My biggest challenge, I would say, you know, like today I had a class that I taught with 6 people, and they're even my advanced students, so they were giving a reading. I bring someone outside to give a reading, and people tend to give advice all the time. And that's coming from the solar plexus here. It's about fixing it, changing it. Now, I teach that we have to, and I'm an English teacher, so I love teaching grammar. So it's about changing your language from, you know, you need to do this, you need to eat better, to I see you eating better and feeling, you know, I see you drinking this drink and feeling much better, instead of you have to drink this. Basically, people speak in advice. And so you have to, this will happen, this can happen. It immediately freezes the other person that's in the receiving, and they're going to go into rebellion. Or they're going to shut down. So if you just talk in visions, I see this happening for you. So I'm always correcting my students. I wouldn't say it's a difficulty, it's just I think people have difficulty transferring their language into the seeing language.
And what
I notice, observe.
I notice, I observe. Now, in terms of like understanding, what would be the biggest misconception you think of what you do?
You know, I worked in New Orleans, so I got a really big taste of this.
I was reading about that. How excited.
Yeah, it was really fun. I love that town. And I worked in the shops, the bottom of the teacup, and I worked in the square, street performer. And then I also had a house healing business. And the houses there in New Orleans are fantastic. We actually got to see real poltergeists and everything, so it was fantastic. I mean, I get excited about those things because I have amusement. I don't, you know, fear comes up, I immediately use amusement.
You stop it.
Yeah, you use amusement.
Amusement
is your
what they call,
strongest tool.
It's like a conscious decision that you, basically you can control anything that happens to your body?
Yes, you can have a really deep fear come up, and if you remember, your tool is grounding and amusement.
Okay.
If you're amused, no one can control you. You know how incorrigible it is for someone to just keep laughing at you while you're trying to tell. When you're amused,
people who drive you insane.
You're a senior. You own your space if you're amused. And so I always I'm always amused when something could be scary.
What's the key of happiness, you think, Tori? What's the key? Because everybody wants to be happy. Human beings, no matter what you do, no matter where you come from, no matter what you do for a living, is a need to be happy. We want to be happy. Like the Dalai Lama said, the art of happiness.
Yeah.
Each one of us wants happiness. How can we be happy?
You know, the way I see it is it's about alignment. It's about, you know, feeling that alignment with your truth and your purpose and your inspiration. That's feeling that inspired feeling. And so we're always moving towards alignment. And so the key to happiness is really knowing that you're going to lose your alignment, laugh about it, and then find tools to find your alignment again. So that's what I tell my students. Just because you learned how to ground and find neutrality and all of a sudden the center of your head and you can see and all of a sudden do readings, it doesn't mean your life is perfect. But what it means is that you recognize when you've lost your space and you know how to find it back with amusement and gratitude and appreciation. You know how to get it back. And preparing that way so that when a crisis does hit your life, you've got these tools now to turn to. So the key to happiness, I would say, is to really learn a lot about how to find your space, how to find your own alignment. And that can be a vision that just brings you back to peace. And taking 5 minutes a day to find your peaceful space. So that if even during the day, the whole day you feel weird, at the end of the day you know you're going to find that place again. And you can laugh about it. So ability to laugh, ability to smile. My students all call it smile technology because
I like that.
I always tell you, close your eyes and smile.
More. People need to smile so much more.
If you put a smile on your face, you're telling your body that you're ready to release. If you're serious, you tell your body, let's hold. So smiling is our way of connecting with the body.
It's about freedom,
and colors.
You think, Tori?
Oh, yes. It's about freedom.
It's
absolutely.
about freedom?
Well, because the universe is expanding. It's constantly expanding. And so we want to expand with it.
Right.
And so resistance and holding on and seriousness is really putting yourself in your own little box and cage. So it's about really just allowing and just going with the flow. Just letting the waves, take you instead of fighting them. And so that's freedom, the freedom to let go, and the freedom to feel not so good, but knowing that you can find it back again.
But you can find it back. And about forgiveness,
Yeah.
you think forgiveness is possible?
Well, forgiveness is absolutely the only way we move forward.
It's the only way.
Because non-forgiveness is a stuck energy in your body.
Right.
It's just
it's not healthy.
Yeah, well, what non-forgiveness is you're not accepting of something. Like, that shouldn't have happened.
Right.
And then we hold on to it.
Right.
And it becomes resentment, or it becomes anger, all these different emotions that harden in the body. And so forgiveness, and Louise Hay and Jesus, everyone says it, forgiveness is your way of saying, I'm finished looking at that, and I have the power to look at something else.
Right.
So in the psychic tools that I teach, we imagine a rose for this thing that we're so upset about, this thing that shouldn't have happened, and then you blow it up. And that's
Nice.
it. I'm done. And you might blow a whole bouquet of them.
Right.
Identify the color of that thing that's bothering you. Put it in the rose. It leaves your body. You're separate from it. Blow it up. And that is a form of forgiveness. Forgiveness is just saying, I'm all done looking at it. I don't even need to contemplate it anymore. Because whatever you contemplate grows and expands. When you pull your energy off of it, especially by blowing it up,
Right.
that's affirming,
a beautiful
I don't want it
image.
anymore.
Right.
I'm not going to put my attention on that anymore. Now it's going to die off.
Right.
And I'm going to contemplate all the things I want.
Right.
It's just a matter of pulling your attention off of something, and then forgiveness occurs. And in fact, the person that you were upset with, you'll feel like you can't even remember what you were upset about.
Right.
And I also have a great meditation that we do where we imagine the person we're upset with, and we're on our own deathbed. And they're the only person in the world that's there to say goodbye.
Oh, wow.
And now, how important was that thing you were upset about? Because this is the person you get to say goodbye to.
Right.
And everything just soothes
Goes
and
away.
softens, and you're like, oh my gosh, what was I so upset about?
Right, right.
That's something that, just changing perspective.
You're a happy
Awesome.
woman, Tori. You're a happy woman.
Well, I have growth periods, they're called, where you're kind of in a contrast, like, wait, this doesn't feel right, but I know I'm working with the tools every day, and it helps that I get to teach them too.
Of course.
Then
it's a healing experience for you to teach.
Whenever I do a reading or teach, whatever you give away, you get to keep, because you become a conduit for that. To give to other people.
This is so
and then
good.
you get to keep it.
This is so good what she's telling me, that every single
important.
noise out there, it bothers me tremendously today. It's kind of interesting, but when you feel, I'm very sensitive.
Yes, you are. Yeah.
And I like to feel.
Well, your nervous system is very highly tuned, and you've got little wings that are flying very quickly.
Those wings
you're
out
like
there?
a hummingbird of some kind.
Really?
Yeah, you're a very quick-moving being, and so that's a really you're very wound up. So about just finding your own grounding would be great, because you don't have to ground to anything else, like a project, or you're looking to ground to something.
Right.
And knowing that the earth is always there to support you at all times.
We have 3 minutes to go before we wrap it up.
That was quick.
Thank you. See how quick I haven't even looked at my notes. You see, this is interesting. I want to, number one, thank all my sponsors. Caterina Lanco, I love you, baby, for wearing me. Heidi Zuleta Makeup. Mr. Dwayne Harris, Big Mountain Entertainment. Vidalsa Broom, our cleaning company. And, of course, Catherine, I can't help to look at the monitor. You're right, that's very sickening, but I can't help it. I want to thank my team. Jeremy, I love you, baby, coming from Jersey to help me. I want to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love you. Catherine, I love you. Arthur English, Gloria Messer, Danny, and Frank. I don't know if he's still there, but if he's upstairs, it doesn't matter. I love him to death. It's about love. It's about love, Tori. Why we tend to complicate everything. Why everything has to be. Why life is so hard. I always try to. I don't know. I always try to give love or support. Life is too hard as it is, Tori. Why we get sometimes kind of stuck in our own problems and we feel that, it would be easier for each one of us if we can just let go and embrace and work together.
Yeah, when you speak about love, we're looking at these chakras up here, which are about compassion and affinity, deep affinity and love for others. When you talk about the struggle, it's really seeing the world through these lower areas where, it's survival and emotion. And, it's all about the turbulence of having a body.
Right.
There's various levels of density that we experience, and the lower body is telling you, like sensors, here's some density here.
Right.
So it's about finding your amusement about it and knowing where you sit, and you sit ideally here.
Right here.
Because this is your place of amusement and neutrality. And the way you find this, your clairvoyant center, is just smile and touch this spot. And it's just going to, like an elevator, pull you up out of this struggle. And say, oh yeah, I don't believe in struggle. Oh, that's right, I don't believe in struggle. So my conversations have nothing to do with struggle anymore, and my thoughts don't have anything to do with struggle. And every day it's getting better and better.